This audiobook reveals the ancient truth of how you become unstoppable by aligning with the universe itself. As you listen, you'll awaken to the realization that your thoughts and feelings are the very force shaping your destiny. Once this truth is embodied, nothing can stand in your way. You become unstoppable. Introduction. Ancient teachings whisper a truth older than time itself. You are not a fragment adrift in a vast universe, but a living expression of it. Every thought you think moves through unseen realms, sending a signal that the universe recognizes as law. What appears as coincidence is merely alignment revealing itself. When you awaken to the knowing that your awareness is creative, life begins to respond with unmistakable clarity. The law of attraction is not something you use, it is something you obey, whether knowingly or not. Your emotions are the language through which you speak to existence. What you feel deeply becomes instruction, and the universe responds with perfect accuracy. Force has never been the path of the wise. True power arises from harmony with your inner truth. As your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs come into unity, resistance fades and flow begins. This harmony is not born of effort, but of trust, a quiet certainty that does not argue, does not plead, and does not doubt. See your consciousness as sacred ground. Each thought is a seed, each emotion the water that gives it life. Whatever you consistently cultivate within must emerge into form. This is why those who master creation do not chase desires. They become the state in which their desires already exist. You were never meant to struggle for what is aligned with you. Your only task is to remain clear, steady, and inwardly faithful. When your inner world becomes unwavering, the outer world must follow. This is not mysticism, it is law, as dependable as the rising sun. Your power is not waiting in the future. It lives in this breath, this moment, this choice. The universe does not answer longing. It responds to certainty. When you know something as already yours, you become unstoppable. Before we get into the book, comment, "I am ready," to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Awakening of Belief. Chapter 1. The Mirror Within. In a small village nestled among ancient hills lived a merchant named Lydia, whose days were spent in ceaseless worry. Though her shop held treasures from distant lands, she perpetually fretted about missing the next grand opportunity. Each morning she would rush to neighboring markets, convinced the best deals were happening elsewhere. Yet, with each hurried journey, she returned to find that precious chances had passed through her own shop while she searched afar. Your thoughts carry a magnetic force that shapes the very fabric of your existence. Like Lydia, you may find yourself trapped in patterns that seem to confirm your deepest fears. This is no coincidence. It is the law of attraction working with perfect precision. When worry becomes your dominant frequency, the universe faithfully reflects situations that validate your concerns. In a distant city lived Charlie, a soul who yearned for lasting love. His heart carried the weight of past disappointments, and a voice within whispered constantly, "Love always leaves." This belief became his truth, manifesting in a series of connections that inevitably drifted away. Yet transformation awaited him in an unexpected moment of clarity. As he sat in his garden one evening, memories of every tender exchange, every gentle smile, and every moment of connection washed over him. In that sacred space, gratitude replaced his fear. The universe responds not to your surface thoughts, but to the emotional current that runs beneath them. When Charlie shifted from focusing on love's departure to appreciating its presence, his energy transformed. Soon after, he found himself drawing experiences that matched his new vibration. Relationships began to deepen. Connections started to last. Like a cosmic mirror, existence reflects back the essence of your deepest convictions. If uncertainty clouds your inner world, circumstances will echo that wavering. But when gratitude becomes your foundation, abundance recognizes itself in your energy and draws near. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and envision a mirror of pure light before you. As you gaze into its luminous surface, watch as it reflects only the thoughts you wish to manifest. See your desires shining back at you, growing brighter with each breath. Feel your energy expand into serene certainty as these radiant reflections fill your being. Let this mirror become your daily reminder that the universe mirrors your innermost truth. Chapter 2. The Choice of Focus. In the heart of an ancient marketplace there lived a woman named Clara, whose lips spoke of freedom, while her mind dwelled on chains. Each morning she would stand at her window, gazing at the birds soaring overhead, whispering of her desire to fly free. Yet as the day unfolded, her words would turn to the walls that surrounded her, the obligations that bound her, the circumstances that held her in place. With each retelling of her limitations, the walls seemed to grow taller, the chains heavier. You must understand this fundamental truth. Your attention is the most powerful creative force you possess. It is not merely what you wish for, but what you consistently focus upon that shapes your reality. The universe responds not to fleeting desires, but to the steady drum of your concentrated thought. When your mind lingers on limitations, those very limitations solidify into form. When your thoughts dwell on lack, that absence deepens. This is not punishment, but perfect law, the law that makes no distinction between wanted and unwanted focus. It simply says, more of this shall come. Consider the merchant Franklin, whose ledgers showed little profit. For years his eyes had been fixed upon empty coffers, his thoughts heavy with the weight of scarcity. But one day something within him shifted. He began to feel the stability he desired rather than the lack he feared. In quiet moments, he would close his eyes and experience the sensation of abundance flowing through his life. Though his circumstances had not yet changed, his inner reality had transformed. What followed seemed like magic to those who didn't understand the law. New clients appeared, unexpected opportunities emerged, forgotten debts were repaid. The universe had not changed. Franklin's focus had. And as his attention shifted, reality rearranged itself to match his new vibration. This truth stands eternal. What you consistently hold in consciousness must manifest in form. Your attention is like water. Whatever you pour it upon will grow. When you understand this power, you realize that your focus is your destiny. Practice. Find a quiet space each morning where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and allow your mind to settle. Now, deliberately turn your attention toward your desired reality. Feel it as if it's already present. When your thoughts begin to drift toward what's missing or what's wrong, gently guide them back to your vision. Do this for 5 minutes each day, gradually increasing the duration as this new focus becomes your natural state. Remember, you're not fighting against current reality. You're simply choosing where to direct your creative force. In this practice lies the seed of your transformation. Chapter 3. The Pulse of Intention. When your mind lingers on limitation, limitation multiplies. When it dwells in possibility, possibility expands. This is the sacred law that shapes all manifestation. Your sustained focus becomes your lived experience. In a valley nestled between ancient hills, a young woman named Ella wandered through her days, feeling unseen by opportunity. Her desires scattered like leaves in the wind, one day dreaming of artistic success, the next of business ventures, then of travel to distant shores. The universe, ever faithful to the law of reflection, mirrored back this same scattered energy, presenting her with fragments of possibilities that never fully materialized. Until one dawn, while watching the sun paint the sky in decisive strokes of gold, she understood. Just as light must be focused through a lens to ignite a flame, desire must be focused through clarity to ignite manifestation. That morning, she took out her journal and wrote with unwavering precision exactly what she wished to create. No more vague wishes. She described her vision with the detail of an artist painting their masterpiece. The universe responds to such clarity with equal precision. When you declare your intention with crystalline focus, you activate forces beyond mortal sight. Every element of creation begins to align with your clear command. Samuel, a teacher in a distant city, embodied this truth. After years of drifting between unfulfilling positions, he sat in meditation one evening and defined his purpose with absolute clarity. "I will find work that allows me to share wisdom and transform lives," he declared to the silence. He felt the truth of these words in every cell of his being. Within weeks, synchronicities began to appear. A chance meeting with an educational pioneer, an invitation to develop a revolutionary teaching program, doors opening that he hadn't known existed. The universe had not changed. His clarity had simply allowed it to respond with matching precision. When your intention rings clear as a bell on a still morning, all of creation conspires to manifest its tone into form. This is your inheritance, the power to shape reality through focused intention. But this power awakens only when you release the mist of uncertainty and stand firmly in crystal clarity. Your thoughts must align like arrows pointing to a single target. Your emotions must resonate with the frequency of your desire. The ancient practice of clear intention. Find a quiet space as the sun rises. Sit with your spine straight, feet planted firmly on the ground. Begin with 3 deep breaths, each exhale releasing doubt from your being. With each inhale, feel certainty filling your chest. Now speak your intention aloud, letting each word carry the weight of absolute knowing. Feel how your whole being begins to vibrate with steady purpose. Continue this practice until your intention feels as natural as your own heartbeat. Chapter 4. The Power of Allowing. In the heart of an ancient marketplace, a merchant named Daisy orchestrated every detail of her trade with meticulous precision. Her fingers gripped the reins of circumstance until her knuckles whitened, believing that control meant certainty. Yet with each calculated move, the universe seemed to dance just beyond her reach. The truth whispers through ages past. The law of attraction flows most powerfully through open hands, not clenched fists. When you release your grip on the how, you allow the infinite wisdom of the universe to arrange circumstances far beyond your limited vision. Your role in manifestation is not to force, but to align. The universe holds endless paths to your desired outcome, most of which remain invisible until the moment of their unfolding. When you insist on controlling each step, you confine yourself to the narrow hallway of your own imagination, blocking the grand ballrooms of possibility that await. Consider the river. It does not fight its way to the ocean. It flows in natural surrender, bending around obstacles, finding unexpected channels, yet always moving toward its destination. This is the art of allowing that transforms mere wishing into effortless receiving. Owen, a painter in a distant valley, once clutched his dreams with desperate hands. Each morning he would count the days until his anticipated success, growing bitter as his timelines came and went unfulfilled. His breakthrough arrived not through force, but through faith. The moment he released his rigid expectations, the universe revealed its perfect timing. Within weeks of surrendering control, Owen encountered a traveling art collector in the most unlikely place, while helping a stranger with a broken cartwheel. This chance meeting led to his first exhibition, which bloomed into opportunities he could never have orchestrated himself. The law of attraction responds not to your strain, but to your trust. When you release the need to control every detail, you open yourself to miracles that exceed your greatest plans. Your only task is to hold your vision with unwavering faith, while allowing the universe to select the perfect path and timing for its manifestation. Ancient practice of surrender. Find a quiet moment each day to sit in stillness. Place your hands palm up on your lap, symbolizing open receiving. As you breathe deeply, repeat these words in your heart. Everything good is already gathering for me. Feel the tension of control melting away with each breath. Continue until you sense a deep calm replacing the urge to grasp and manipulate. This is the serenity of effortless manifestation, the state where miracles naturally flow. Let this truth settle in your heart. The universe's timing is perfect, its methods divine. Your role is not to strain, but to allow, not to force, but to flow. In this sacred surrender lies the key to unstoppable manifestation. Chapter 5. The Language of Emotion. In a valley between ancient hills, there lived a woman who filled her days with sacred words. Each morning and night, Millie would recite the most beautiful affirmations, speaking of abundance and joy. Yet her heart remained a hollow chamber, echoing with emptiness despite the poetry that passed her lips. The deepest truth of manifestation lies not in the words we speak, but in the vibrations we carry. Your emotions are the true voice that calls to the universe. They are the pure language of creation itself. When you declare prosperity, but feel lack, when you speak of love, but harbor fear, the universe responds not to your words, but to the underlying frequency of your being. This wisdom reveals itself in layers, like light breaking through clouds. Your feelings are not mere responses to life. They are the very commands that shape it. Each emotion you cultivate becomes a signal, broadcasting your expectations to the infinite field of possibility. Joy is not simply a reaction to good fortune. It is the magnetic force that draws more reasons for joy toward you. Victor understood this truth in the depths of his despair. After losing everything he held precious, he discovered that healing began not with grand declarations, but with tiny moments of chosen delight. He started simply, savoring the aroma of morning coffee, pausing to witness the dawn chorus of birds, feeling gratitude for the warmth of sunlight on his face. These were not distractions from his pain, but deliberate acts of energetic alignment. As Victor nurtured these small sparks of joy, larger flames of possibility began to ignite around him. New doors opened, not because he demanded them with words, but because his emotional frequency had shifted into harmony with opportunity. The universe responded not to his wishes, but to his way of being. This is the sacred alchemy of feeling, the transformation that occurs when you allow yourself to embody the emotion of what you desire before its physical manifestation. Your feelings are prayers in motion, rippling through the fabric of reality, with far more power than any spoken request. The key lies in authenticity. A single moment of genuine appreciation holds more manifestation power than hours of hollow affirmations. When you touch that pure place of good feeling within yourself, you align with the very force that creates worlds. Ancient practice for emotional alignment. As the morning sun rises, find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes and summon one authentic feeling of well-being. Perhaps gratitude for your breath, joy in simply existing, or peace in the silence. Allow this feeling to arise naturally, without forcing or pretending. Let it begin as a small spark in your heart, then gently nurture it with your attention. Feel it expand through your chest, flow through your limbs, and color your entire being. Stay with this sensation until it becomes your dominant frequency, teaching you that emotion truly is the language through which you commune with the infinite. Chapter 6. The Blueprint of Belief. Consider the tale of Hazel, born into a family where scarcity whispered through every conversation. "Money slips away," her grandmother would say. "Success belongs to others," her mother would sigh. These words settled into her bones like ancient dust, forming walls around her potential before she could recognize their presence. The universe mirrors not just your conscious thoughts, but the deep currents of belief flowing beneath them. These inherited stories become the invisible architects of your reality, drawing boundary lines around what you believe possible. Every time Hazel glimpsed opportunity, an inner voice, not her own, but generations before her, would whisper, "Not for us." Your subconscious beliefs are the foundation upon which all manifestation builds. They are the sacred blueprints that the universe follows with unwavering loyalty. When Gordon first sought success in his endeavors, he carried within him the unexamined belief that achievement must be earned through struggle and hardship. The universe, true to its nature, manifested exactly that pattern, creating obstacles and challenges that validated his core assumption. But beliefs, even those passed down through generations, are not immutable laws. They are stories waiting to be rewritten. When Gordon questioned this ingrained pattern, wondering why ease couldn't accompany success, a shift occurred. As he consciously chose to believe in graceful achievement, the universe responded in kind. Opportunities began flowing with natural momentum, no longer requiring the resistance he had come to expect. This truth extends beyond individual experiences. It touches the very essence of how reality forms around you. Every belief you hold becomes a command, a frequency that shapes the raw material of possibility. The universe does not judge these beliefs as right or wrong. It simply matches their vibration with unwavering precision. The practice of belief transformation. Find a quiet moment each day to sit in stillness. Choose one limiting belief that has shaped your story. Hold it gently in your awareness, not as an enemy to be fought, but as an old pattern ready for evolution. Ask yourself, who gave me this belief? Does it serve the life I wish to create? Then, with the same care you might use to tend a garden, plant a new belief in its place. Let it take root in your consciousness. Feel its truth in your body, not just your mind. Each day, nurture this new belief until it grows strong enough to bear the fruit of new circumstances. Remember, your beliefs are not who you are. They are simply the lens through which you view possibility. As you realign these inner blueprints, the universe will begin building a reality that matches your transformed vision. Chapter 7. The Music of Alignment. Your subconscious beliefs are the foundation upon which all manifestation builds. They are the sacred blueprints that the universe follows with unwavering loyalty. When Gordon first sought success in his endeavors, he carried within him the unexamined belief that achievement must be earned through struggle and hardship. The universe, true to its nature, manifested exactly that pattern, creating obstacles and challenges that validated his core assumption. Yet the power to redraw these blueprints lies within you. When Gordon began questioning this inherited wisdom, a new truth emerged. Success could flow with grace. Achievement could arrive through joy. As he embraced this shift in perspective, the universe responded in kind, bringing opportunities that matched his renewed expectations. The story of Beatrice shows how these blueprints affect the harmony of your creation. She moved from goal to goal, her desires changing like leaves in the wind. Her thoughts pulled in one direction while her feelings tugged another, creating a discordant symphony that left her feeling scattered and unfulfilled. The transformation began when she learned to tune her inner instruments. She discovered that manifestation flows most powerfully when your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in perfect harmony. Like a master conductor, she learned to bring each element into alignment, creating a melody of intention that the universe could not help but echo. Henry's journey mirrors this truth. For years, he approached his work as duty, something to be endured rather than enjoyed. His thoughts spoke of success, but his emotions sang of burden. When he finally aligned his work with genuine joy, allowing his passion to lead the way, the universe responded with opportunities that matched his newfound resonance. In your own life, these blueprints of belief shape every experience you attract. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions harmonize around a clear intention, you become an irresistible force of creation. The universe, ever responsive, arranges circumstances to match your inner symphony. Ancient activation practice. Close your eyes and envision your life as a grand symphony. Each thought is a note, each emotion a rhythm in this cosmic orchestra. Feel the harmony as your beliefs, desires, and actions align into perfect resonance. Let this melody play through you for several minutes, knowing that as your inner music grows more beautiful, the universe must reflect its harmony, Practice this attunement daily, allowing your consciousness to conduct the symphony of your manifestation. Chapter 8. The Art of Receiving. In a quiet village there lived a woman named Sophie who yearned deeply for abundance. Each morning and night she would send her wishes skyward, dreaming of prosperity flowing into her life. Yet when kindness appeared at her door, a neighbor offering fresh bread, a friend extending help with her garden, she turned away these gifts with practiced dismissal. "I couldn't possibly," she would say, or "You shouldn't trouble yourself." What Sophie failed to understand was that these small rejections were creating ripples in the universal stream of abundance. Each declined offer, each deflected compliment, each refused helping hand became a signal to the cosmos. I am not ready to receive. The universe speaks in whispers before it speaks in shouts. It tests your readiness through subtle offerings before manifesting grander dreams. When you close yourself to small blessings, you unknowingly dam the river of abundance that seeks to flow through your life. Consider the wisdom held within the cycle of breath. You must fully exhale before you can receive fresh air. Similarly, you must release resistance to receiving before abundance can fill your life. This is not about greed or taking more than your share. It is about honoring the natural flow of giving and receiving that maintains harmony in the universe. Clyde, a humble craftsman, discovered this truth through his own journey. For years he priced his work below its worth and dismissed praise for his artistry. When customers offered to pay more, he refused. When opportunities for larger projects arose, he shrank back. Yet something shifted when an old sage advised him, "Your resistance to receiving is resistance to the universe itself." From that day forward, Clyde began accepting kindness with simple gratitude. When someone praised his work, he replied with a heartfelt, "Thank you." When clients insisted on paying more, he allowed it. When offers of collaboration came, he said yes. As his receptivity opened, abundance began flowing not just in his finances, but in his relationships, his creativity, and his spirit. The transformation you seek begins with your willingness to receive. Every time you accept a sincere compliment, every time you allow someone to help you, every time you receive a gift with grace, you are signaling to the universe, "I am worthy of abundance. I am ready for more." This practice of receiving requires the courage to be vulnerable. It asks you to release the illusion of self-sufficiency and embrace the interconnected nature of abundance. Just as the ocean receives countless streams to maintain its fullness, your life expands through willingness to receive the countless ways the universe offers its bounty. Ancient practice of reception. Each day, open yourself to receive 3 small blessings. When someone offers help, accept it graciously. When a compliment comes your way, embrace it fully. When synchronicity brings an unexpected gift, welcome it with joy. Feel the gentle warmth of worthiness fill your being as you practice saying yes to life's offerings. Let each accepted blessing be a step toward natural receptivity, until your entire being becomes a vessel ready for the abundance that awaits. Chapter 9. The Compassion Frequency. The ancient wisdom keepers understood a truth that you are now ready to receive. The universe mirrors not only your thoughts and beliefs, but the very quality of energy flowing through your heart. When you hold on to bitterness, you create resistance that blocks the natural flow of abundance. Consider the tale of a merchant who lived by the Great Silk Road. Each day he watched caravans pass, carrying riches he yearned to possess. Yet his heart was heavy with resentment toward those who seemed to prosper while he struggled. Unknown to him, his bitterness created an energetic wall that repelled the very prosperity he sought. This reflects a universal principle. The quality of energy you emit determines what you can receive. Resentment acts as a dense fog, obscuring the pathways to your desires. When you release this heavy energy through forgiveness, you clear the channels through which abundance flows. The power of this truth was revealed through a desert sage who taught, "To manifest gold in your hands, you must first release the stones you clutch." These stones of bitterness, judgment, and anger occupy the space where abundance longs to enter. Just as water cannot flow through a blocked pipe, universal energy cannot fully reach you through the barriers of unforgiveness. Yet when you choose to release these burdens, you create space for miracles. This is not about condoning what has hurt you, but about freeing yourself from the weight of carrying it. In the marketplace of life, a bitter heart trades in heavy currency, while a forgiving spirit deals in light. Each act of forgiveness becomes an investment in your own freedom, paying dividends in peace and possibility. Remember, the universe responds not to your words of wanting, but to the vibration you maintain. When you hold resentment, you broadcast a frequency of lack. When you choose compassion, you align with the abundance that naturally flows through open hearts. The sacred practice: find a quiet moment at dawn or dusk. Close your eyes and bring to mind someone who has caused you pain. Imagine them surrounded by golden light. Without forcing anything, allow your breath to soften any hardness in your heart. Whisper silently, "I release you to your highest good, and in doing so, I free myself." Feel the lightness that comes with letting go. Repeat this practice daily until you sense the walls of resistance dissolving, making way for grace to enter. This ancient ritual of forgiveness realigns your energy with the natural abundance of the universe. As you practice, notice how life begins responding differently, not because others have changed, but because you have shifted the quality of energy you emit into the world. Chapter 10. The Decision to Believe. In a distant valley nestled among ancient hills, there lived a young weaver who created the most beautiful tapestries anyone had ever seen. Yet each time she began a new work, she would stop halfway, torn between her vision and her doubts. Her unfinished pieces hung like questions in her workshop, waiting for resolution that never came. When you stand at the crossroads between trust and doubt, remember that the universe responds not to your hesitation, but to your decision. Faith is not a feeling that comes to visit. It is a choice you make moment by moment, weaving the fabric of your reality with each steadfast thought. The law of attraction operates through the power of decision. When you choose to believe, you activate forces beyond your current understanding. This choice becomes the foundation upon which all manifestation builds its home. Your certainty creates a magnetic field that draws corresponding circumstances into your experience. Think of faith as the invisible bridge between your present moment and your desired reality. This bridge only appears solid beneath your feet when you take the first step. The universe honors your courage to move forward before you see the entire path. Many wait for perfect conditions before they commit to their dreams, not realizing that commitment itself creates the conditions. Your decision to trust opens doors that doubt keeps firmly shut. When you choose absolute faith in your vision, you transmit a frequency that the universe must match. This is not blind faith, but rather a mature understanding that belief itself is a creative force. Your unwavering decision becomes the mold into which universal energy flows. Just as water takes the shape of its container, reality shapes itself around your unshakable conviction. Remember, the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you have decided is true. Your choice to believe fully is the spark that ignites the flame of manifestation. Each moment offers you this choice anew. Will you stand with your doubts, or will you rise in your knowing? The sacred practice. Find a quiet space as the sun rises. Hold your chosen desire in your heart, not as a wish, but as a decision already made. Breathe deeply and declare, I choose complete faith in this unfolding. It is done. Feel the relief wash over you as you release the weight of doubt. Let your body relax into the knowing that all is well. Your choice to believe fully has already set wheels in motion that you cannot yet see. Part 2, The Expansion of Power. Chapter 11, The Flow of Action. In a bustling marketplace of old, a merchant displayed the finest silks in all the land. Day after day, he dreamed of owning the grandest shop in the kingdom, yet his wares remained in their boxes, waiting for the perfect moment to be arranged. Though his vision was clear, his silks gathered dust while he waited for destiny to unfold. The law of attraction flows through channels of action. Many mistake spiritual alignment for passive waiting, believing that visualization alone will manifest their desires. Yet the universe speaks through inspired movement. Each action you take is a declaration of your faith, a physical prayer that sets cosmic forces in motion. Think of manifestation as a dance between heaven and earth. Your thoughts and feelings create the music, but your feet must move to complete the ceremony. When you act from aligned inspiration, you demonstrate to the universe that you are ready to receive. This readiness accelerates the manifestation process in ways that mere thinking cannot. The mistake lies not in visualizing, for visualization is powerful, but in believing that creation ends there. The universe requires your participation. It seeks to work through you, not for you. When you feel the spark of inspiration, that gentle nudge to move, it is the universe extending its hand for the dance. Your actions need not be grand gestures. Small steps taken with conviction carry more power than giant leaps made in fear. The key lies in moving with joy, allowing each action to arise naturally from your aligned state. When you act from this place of inner guidance, timing becomes perfect and effort feels effortless. Leonard's testimony speaks to this truth. For years, he envisioned his ideal business but remained in preparation mode. The day he simply began, starting with one client, one service, the universe responded with a cascade of opportunities. His small step forward activated a chain reaction of support. Remember, action aligns you with the flow of creation. It transforms your energy from potential to kinetic, from dreaming to becoming. Each inspired movement sends ripples through the fabric of reality, creating pathways for your desires to manifest. The sacred practice. Sit quietly, and tune into your inner guidance. Feel what small action calls to you regarding your heart's desire. When you sense that gentle pull, rise and take that single step today. Move with joy, knowing that your action is a physical affirmation of your faith. Let your movement be your prayer, your body an instrument of manifestation. Trust that as you dance your part, the universe orchestrates all other elements perfectly. Chapter 12. The Inner Dialogue. A wise teacher once lived in a mountain village, known for helping others discover their inner wisdom. One day, a young woman named Amara sought his counsel, carrying 2 clay pots, one pristine, one cracked. "These pots," the teacher observed, "are like your self-talk. One nurtures, while the other leaks precious water with each step. Your inner dialogue shapes the energy you broadcast into the universe. Many spend years reciting powerful affirmations while their internal commentary whispers doubt, criticism, and judgment. This creates a split frequency that dilutes your manifesting power. The universe responds not to your conscious declarations alone, but to the total vibration of your being, including the quiet murmurs of your self-talk. Think of your mind as a garden where every thought is a seed. Critical self-talk plants thorns among your roses, creating an environment where manifestation struggles to flourish. Your subconscious mind, the master gardener of this space, responds more deeply to the emotional tone of your internal voice than to the actual words spoken. This truth became clear to Emerson, a gifted artist who struggled to share his work with the world. Though he repeated affirmations about success and recognition, his inner dialogue constantly whispered of inadequacy. Each morning he would look at his paintings and think, "These aren't good enough." His manifesting power remained blocked until he understood that his harsh self-judgment was drowning out his positive declarations. The transformation began when Emerson started speaking to himself as he would to a dear friend. Each morning, standing before his easel, he would acknowledge his effort with genuine appreciation. "You're growing stronger with each brushstroke," he would say, or "This challenge is teaching you something valuable." The shift in his inner tone created a new resonance that the universe could clearly receive. Within months, opportunities began appearing. First, a small gallery showing, then a mentor who recognized his potential, followed by collectors who connected deeply with his work. The external recognition he attracted perfectly matched his newly cultivated inner acceptance. Your self-talk is not merely private conversation. It is a continuous broadcast to the universe. When you speak to yourself with kindness, you align with the frequency of abundance. When you offer yourself compassion during challenges, you remain open to receiving guidance. When you celebrate your small victories, you amplify your attraction power. This is not about forced positivity or denying real feelings. Rather, it's about becoming aware of your habitual inner tone and consciously choosing words that nurture your spirit. The universe responds most powerfully to authentic self-communication that comes from a place of genuine self-respect. Just as a garden needs constant tending, your inner dialogue requires regular attention. Notice the tone of your thoughts as you move through your day. Are you speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a beloved child learning to walk? Are you acknowledging your progress with the same enthusiasm you would share for a friend's success? The sacred practice. Find a quiet moment each morning before your day begins. Place your hand over your heart and speak to yourself with genuine warmth and understanding. Choose words that soothe and encourage rather than criticize or demand. Notice how this gentle self-talk feels in your body. Practice replacing each internal complaint with words of gentle reassurance until your mind becomes your greatest ally. Let this nurturing inner dialogue become your natural way of being, knowing that as your self-talk transforms, your ability to attract your desires strengthens accordingly. Chapter 13. The Faith in Delay. In a distant land, there lived a gardener named Opal, who planted seeds each spring with great enthusiasm. At first, she would check the soil hourly, digging up seeds to see if they had sprouted. Her impatience disturbed their natural growth, and many withered before taking root. Only when an elder gardener taught her to trust nature's timing did her garden begin to flourish. The universe operates through divine timing, not human schedules. When you plant a seed of intention in the fertile soil of consciousness, an unseen process of germination begins. Your role is not to force growth, but to maintain the perfect conditions for manifestation through unwavering faith. Every desire you send forth enters a sacred incubation period. This pause is not empty waiting, it is active preparation. During this time, the universe rearranges circumstances, aligns opportunities, and most importantly, refines your own vibration to match the frequency of your desire. Benjamin understood this truth during his journey to establish his life's work. For months it seemed his efforts yielded no visible results. Yet in that seeming void, profound inner work was taking place. His character strengthened, his vision clarified, and his capacity to receive expanded. When success finally arrived, he had become the person capable of sustaining it. The law of gestation applies to all forms of creation. Just as a butterfly requires time in its chrysalis, your manifestations need space to transform from energy to form. Resistance to this natural cycle creates discord in your vibration, while acceptance accelerates alignment. Your task is not to rush the universe, but to use periods of waiting as opportunities for deeper attunement. Each moment of patience builds your energetic coherence. When you trust the process completely, you enter a state of such perfect alignment that what you seek begins seeking you. Remember, what appears as delay is actually divine precision. The universe is not withholding. It is preparing both you and your desire for a perfect match in consciousness. Your work during this time is to maintain the high frequency of gratitude and certainty, knowing that every pause holds purpose. Sacred practice, the sanctuary of trust. Find a quiet space each morning before the world awakens. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine your desire as a seed already planted in fertile soil. With each breath, feel yourself releasing anxiety about timing. Allow peace to fill the space where urgency once lived. Repeat silently, "Divine timing guides my path. I trust the perfect unfolding of all things." Continue this practice until you feel your entire being relax into complete acceptance of the universe's perfect orchestration. Let patience become not just a practice, but a state of being, transforming waiting from resistance into serene appreciation for the sacred process of manifestation. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The frequency of joy. In a bustling marketplace, a merchant named Elsie meticulously recorded her daily gratitudes, thinking this mechanical practice would attract abundance. Each evening she dutifully listed her blessings, yet felt no spark of genuine appreciation. Her words rang hollow, and her manifestations remained stagnant. The truth revealed itself through time. Authentic joy cannot be summoned by force. It emerges naturally when you release the need to manufacture emotion and instead open yourself to life's spontaneous beauty. Joy is not a task to complete, but a frequency to embody. When you attempt to construct happiness through rigid practice, you create resistance to its natural flow. True joy arises from presence, from moments of pure, uncontrived appreciation for the miracle of existence. Chester discovered this wisdom during his own journey. As a craftsman, he had spent years pursuing perfection, measuring his worth against future achievements. His breakthrough came unexpectedly, when he stopped striving and began to notice the small wonders around him. The way sunlight played on his workbench, the satisfying weight of his tools, the rhythm of his breath as he worked. As he embraced these simple pleasures, his entire vibration shifted. No longer was he reaching for joy. He was experiencing it naturally, moment by moment. His work transformed from burden to blessing, and soon customers were drawn to the peaceful energy infused in his creations. The universe responds not to forced positivity, but to genuine emotional resonance. When you allow yourself to feel authentic joy, even in life's ordinary moments, you activate a powerful magnetic force. Joy becomes both the signal of alignment and the attractor of greater blessings. This truth echoes through the ages. Presence is the doorway to power. When you release the need to manipulate your emotions and simply allow yourself to notice life's inherent beauty, you enter a state of natural abundance. Your appreciation becomes a song that the universe cannot help but harmonize with. Sacred practice, the dance of delight. Throughout your day, pause at random moments to notice something that brings you genuine pleasure. It might be the warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of children's laughter, or the aroma of your morning tea. Don't force appreciation. Simply allow your attention to rest on whatever naturally delights you. Let this joy ripple through your being like sunlight dancing through leaves. Notice how this authentic pleasure expands your energy field, creating space for even greater blessings to flow into your life. Chapter 15. The Courage to Envision. In the quiet shadows of a mountain village, Ruth lived a life carefully contained within the boundaries of reasonable expectations. Each time a grand vision sparked within her heart, she quickly extinguished it, believing that modest dreams were safer than magnificent ones. She had learned to guard herself against disappointment by keeping her aspirations small and predictable. Yet the universe whispers a deeper truth. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the sacred architecture through which all creation flows. When you limit your dreams, you construct walls around your destiny. The power of attraction responds not to the size of your desires, but to the magnitude of your willingness to envision them fully. Your imagination is a divine gift, a tool of manifestation as real as any physical force. The images you allow yourself to hold become energetic blueprints, drawing matter and circumstance into their form. To fear big dreams is to misunderstand the very nature of universal abundance. There is no quota on possibility, no ration card for miracles. Felix, a humble scribe, discovered this truth in his own journey. Where others saw merely ink and parchment, he dared to envision words that would touch thousands of hearts. Though his circumstances suggested limitation, he refused to dim his vision. Each morning, he would sit in quiet contemplation, allowing his imagination to soar beyond the confines of his current reality. Others called him impractical, yet Felix understood that practicality often masks fear. He continued to nurture his expansive vision, feeling it grow more vivid and certain with each passing day. Gradually, his external world began to shift, first subtly, then dramatically. Opportunities appeared that perfectly aligned with his imagined future, as if the universe had been waiting for his permission to deliver them. The law remains constant. The scope of your vision determines the scale of your attraction. When you dare to dream beyond conventional boundaries, you activate forces far greater than logic can explain. Your courage to imagine becomes a beacon, calling forth resources and synchronicities that support your expanded vision. The path of manifestation begins not with action, but with permission. Permission to envision something extraordinary. Permission to believe in possibilities that others might dismiss. Your imagination is not separate from reality. It is the template from which reality takes its shape. Each time you allow yourself to dream bigger, you're not being unrealistic. You're participating in the universe's natural tendency toward expansion. The cosmos itself is constantly growing, creating, becoming more. Your grand visions are simply your soul's alignment with this infinite momentum. Sacred practice, the expansion of vision. Find a quiet moment and settle into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and allow your imagination to craft your most cherished vision. See it with such clarity that every detail becomes vivid and alive. Feel the emotions of living in that reality, the joy, the fulfillment, the peaceful certainty. Don't rush this practice. Let the scene develop naturally, adding layers of sensory detail until it feels as real as your present moment. Notice how your body responds to this expanded vision, perhaps with tingles of excitement or waves of peaceful knowing. Stay with this vision until you feel life herself applauding your courage to dream so boldly. Let each breath deepen your acceptance of this greater possibility, knowing that your imagination is laying the energetic foundation for its manifestation. Chapter 16. The Power of Words. In a tranquil valley, a wise woman named Maya was known for her ability to heal through words. Those who visited her humble dwelling noticed that plants seemed to grow more vibrant near her home, and animals drew closer when she spoke. The secret lay not in any magical incantation, but in her understanding that every utterance carries creative force. Like the ripples from a stone cast into still waters, your words create waves of energy that shape the fabric of your reality. Each complaint, each criticism, each expression of lack sends forth a vibration that the universe faithfully echoes back. Yet within this truth lies extraordinary power, for just as negative words manifest their likeness, words of blessing multiply their grace. The ancient mystics understood that speech is the bridge between thought and manifestation. When you voice doubt, you strengthen its presence. When you speak of lack, you extend its shadow. But when you choose words of abundance, you weave golden threads into the tapestry of your experience. Naomi discovered this wisdom through living it. Her days once overflowed with casual complaints about traffic, weather, minor inconveniences. She noticed how these seemingly innocent grumbles cast a gray film over her experiences, drawing more situations that warranted complaint. The moment she began consciously shifting her speech patterns, replacing "I hate this traffic" with "I appreciate this moment of stillness," her world began to transform. The universe does not judge your words as positive or negative. It simply matches their energy with corresponding circumstances. Irving embodied this principle when faced with career challenges. Instead of voicing frustration about missed opportunities, he spoke with gratitude about the perfect timing of all things. His transformed language became a magnetic force, attracting alignments he couldn't have planned. Words are seeds planted in the fertile soil of universal consciousness. Speaking in blessing isn't about denial of current circumstances. It's about conscious creation of preferred realities. When you voice appreciation for what exists now while speaking confidently of what you wish to manifest, you activate the law of attraction's most potent mechanism. Sacred speech. Practice. Choose one full day to speak only words that reflect the reality you wish to create. Let each word fall from your lips with intention, like petals blessing the earth. Notice how this conscious speech creates an immediate shift in your energy field. As you move through your day, pause before speaking, ensuring each utterance serves as a bridge to greater harmony. Feel how this gentle attention to language naturally aligns you with higher frequencies of manifestation. Chapter 17. The Circle of Generosity. In a bustling marketplace, a merchant named Hattie kept meticulous count of every coin and possession. Her stalls overflowed with goods she dared not part with, even as newer merchandise arrived. Each morning, she would examine her inventory, marking items she feared might disappear, her hands trembling as she clutched her wealth closer. The universe operates through eternal circulation. Like breath itself, inhale must be matched with exhale, receiving balanced with giving. When you grasp too tightly to what you have, you unknowingly create resistance in the natural flow of abundance. Your fear of loss becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, for the universe can only give to open hands. This truth reveals itself in the natural world. A flower must release its petals to bloom anew. A tree must shed its leaves to grow. The ocean continuously gives and receives, creating an endless dance of abundance. When you understand this rhythm, you recognize that generosity is not sacrifice, but participation in the cosmic dance of prosperity. In a distant village lived Norman, a baker who discovered this sacred law through experience. Each morning, he would place a basket of fresh bread outside his shop for anyone in need. His neighbors warned him of waste, of loss, of foolishness. Yet something within him knew better. As weeks passed, Norman noticed something extraordinary. His business began to flourish in unexpected ways. New customers appeared, speaking of the kindness they'd heard about. Opportunities arose, a chance to supply bread to the finest restaurants, an invitation to teach his craft to eager apprentices. His abundance quadrupled, not through careful hoarding, but through joyful sharing. The universe responded to Norman's generosity because his actions declared his trust in infinite supply. Each loaf given away whispered to the cosmos, "I know there is always more." His open hands became channels through which greater abundance could flow. This principle extends beyond material giving. When you freely share your time, your knowledge, your compassion, you signal to the universe your understanding of its limitless nature. True wealth multiplies when circulated. Like a river that stays fresh through constant movement, abundance remains vital through generous flow. You may have noticed that those who give with genuine joy often seem mysteriously protected by grace. Their lives demonstrate an elegant truth. Generosity is not a diminishing of resources, but an expansion of possibility. Every authentic act of giving creates space for new blessings to enter. The ancient practice of sacred circulation. Find something today that you can give freely and joyfully. It need not be grand. Perhaps a book that changed your life, a skill you could teach, or simply your undivided attention to someone in need. As you give, feel the lightness that comes with trusting in abundance. Notice how sharing creates not loss, but spaciousness, room for the universe to fill with unexpected blessings. Practice this giving with the quiet knowing that you are participating in the eternal dance of cosmic circulation. Chapter 18. The Alignment of Relationships. A merchant in a distant land carried an empty vessel to the well each morning, hoping to fill it with the sweet waters of companionship. Yet no matter how many times she dipped her vessel into the pool of connection, the water seemed to seep through invisible cracks, leaving her parched and wanting. You too may recognize this pattern, seeking love as though it were something external to gather and hold. Yet the truth whispers otherwise through the ages. Love flows not from without, but from within. The relationship you hold with yourself creates the template for all other bonds in your existence. When your inner chalice brims with self-honor, the universe cannot help but reflect this fullness back to you. Each gesture of self-respect ripples outward, creating waves that return bearing gifts of authentic connection. Your relationship with yourself is the first and most sacred romance. All other loves dance in harmony with this primary bond. Consider how Annie walked through life bearing an emptiness she hoped others would fill. She adorned herself with achievements and pleasantries, yet beneath these outer garments lay a heart that yearned for validation. Each relationship she attracted seemed to echo her inner void. Partners who either needed saving or could not commit fully. The shift began when Annie started treating herself as preciously as she had treated others. She spoke to herself with gentleness, honored her boundaries, and celebrated her own company. As she filled her own cup first, something magical transpired. Her relationships transformed, matching her elevated frequency of self-worth. Everett's tale mirrors this wisdom. For years he accepted less than he deserved, believing that compromise meant love. But when he began respecting his own truth and standing firmly in his worth, his connections naturally evolved. Those who could not meet him at this new vibration fell away, while those who recognized his authentic light drew closer. This ancient truth remains. Your outer world will always align with your inner kingdom. When you crown yourself with dignity, others naturally offer you the same reverence. When you trust your own counsel, wisdom finds you. When you cherish your own company, genuine companionship follows. The universe operates through resonance, like attracts like. Respect draws respect, honor magnetizes honor. Your self-relationship broadcasts a frequency that others unconsciously attune to, determining the quality of connections you attract. Sacred practice. Begin this day as though you were your own beloved. Move through each moment treating yourself with the tenderness and respect you wish to receive from others. Speak to yourself as you would to someone precious. Honor your boundaries as though they were holy law. Notice how this shift in self-regard begins to transform the mirror of your relationships, creating ripples of harmony that extend far beyond yourself. Chapter 19. The Flow of Trust. In a valley nestled between ancient mountains lived a woman named Marla, who fashioned armor from her doubts. Each morning she reinforced her protective shell with layers of skepticism, convinced that faith led only to disappointment. Her heart yearned for miracles, yet her mind built fortresses against them. The universe speaks in whispers of possibility, but you cannot hear its guidance through walls of disbelief. Trust is not naive optimism. It is the natural state of alignment with universal flow. When you release the need to guard against life, you discover that life has been guarding you all along. Consider how a flower grows without questioning the soil's support or the sun's return. Your existence is equally held by unseen forces that orchestrate in your favor. Yet, like Marla, you may have learned to doubt this support, creating resistance where grace wishes to flow. Rolf, a craftsman in a distant town, discovered this truth through an unexpected turn of events. For years, he carried the weight of self-reliance, believing he must solve every challenge alone. One day, exhausted from his struggles, he simply surrendered his grip on control. In that moment of release, help arrived from unexpected sources. A stranger with exactly the connection he needed, an opportunity that seemed crafted for his skills. The shift was not in his circumstances, but in his perception. By expecting goodness, he tuned his frequency to receive it. Where once he saw obstacles, he began to recognize stepping stones. His trust became a bridge over which miracles could travel. This is the hidden mechanics of manifestation. Trust opens channels through which the universe can deliver its gifts. When you expect life to support you, you activate an ancient partnership between your consciousness and the cosmic order. Your trust becomes the invisible infrastructure upon which abundance builds its paths to reach you. Notice how differently you move through life when you assume support rather than resistance. Your energy shifts from defensive to receptive, from contracted to expanded. In this state of openness, synchronicities multiply, as though reality itself responds to your willingness to receive its blessings. Ancient practice of trust. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Allow your breath to flow naturally, imagining that each inhale carries pure trust into your being. Feel how your body relaxes when you truly believe that life supports you completely. Notice the subtle shift as calm trust begins to bend reality in your favor. Let this feeling of being divinely supported become your natural state of being. Through this practice, you will discover that trust is not something to achieve. It is something to remember. It is your natural inheritance, waiting to be reclaimed. Chapter 20. The Stillness of Knowing. In the heart of a bustling city lived Pearl, whose shelves overflowed with spiritual books and manifestation journals. She attended every workshop, practiced countless techniques, and followed every new teaching that promised enlightenment. Yet, with each method mastered, her inner peace remained elusive. Her pursuit of perfection became a maze of endless doing, until one day, exhaustion brought her to her knees. The truth reveals itself when we cease the endless chase. Power does not accumulate through the gathering of methods, but emerges through the recognition of what already exists within. Your search for more techniques often masks a deeper wisdom waiting to be acknowledged. When you understand that you are already complete, that every answer you seek already resides within your consciousness, the frantic need for more dissolves into quiet knowing. This is not a passive surrender, but an active recognition of your inherent connection to universal intelligence. Douglas, a former achievement addict, discovered this profound truth during a period of forced stillness. After years of spiritual seeking, a sudden illness confined him to his bed. Unable to maintain his usual practices, he found himself sitting in silence each day. In that quietude, something extraordinary emerged, a clear inner guidance that had always been present beneath the noise of his striving. The wisdom he sought had never been lost. It had simply been drowned out by his endless doing. Through silent meditation, he discovered that connection to Source requires no elaborate rituals or complex formulas. It flows naturally when we allow ourselves to be still enough to receive it. This revelation transforms your relationship with spiritual practice. Instead of adding more layers of technique, you begin removing the barriers to what already exists. Your power lies not in perfecting another method, but in recognizing the perfection that already animates your being. When you settle into stillness, you align with the same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies and guides the seasons. This knowing brings a peace that no external achievement can match. Your seeking ends not because you have found something new, but because you have remembered what was never lost. Practice. Find a quiet space each day where you can sit undisturbed. Let your breath become smooth and natural. Allow your thoughts to settle like leaves floating to the bottom of a pond. As stillness deepens, sense the vast intelligence that has always been present within you. Rest in this knowing until you feel your natural alignment with the infinite wisdom that governs all creation. Part 3. The Manifested Self. Chapter 21. The Expansion Beyond Fear. In the shadow of an ancient olive grove, a merchant named June built her life around comfort and certainty. Each morning she would arrange her wares in the same pattern, speak to the same customers, and return home by the same path. When opportunities for growth appeared, she turned away, mistaking the flutter in her chest for warning, rather than wings preparing to spread. The universe speaks through sensation, and what we label as fear often carries the seeds of our evolution. That trembling in your solar plexus, the quickening of your breath, these are not barriers but doorways. Your body's response to potential expansion mirrors the stirring of a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. The discomfort you feel is not a signal to retreat, but rather your spirit's recognition of imminent transformation. When you stand at the threshold of growth, ancient wisdom teaches that resistance will arise. This resistance wears many masks: doubt, anxiety, hesitation. But beneath each disguise lies the same truth. You are approaching a new dimension of your power. The very presence of fear indicates that you have discovered the exact place where your spirit yearns to expand. Arthur, a skilled craftsman, encountered this truth when his workshop closed after 20 years. As opportunities for change emerged, His chest tightened with what he first interpreted as dread. But in a moment of clarity, he recognized that the energy coursing through his body was not warning him of danger. It was preparation for flight. The anxiety that had frozen him began to flow differently when he welcomed it as transformation's herald. What you resist will persist, but what you embrace transforms. When Arthur began treating his nervous energy as excitement in disguise, his perspective shifted. Each butterfly of anxiety in his stomach became a signal of approaching opportunity. The job transition that had seemed threatening revealed itself as the doorway to greater expression of his talents. Your fear carries wisdom when you learn to listen differently. It points precisely to where your next evolution awaits. Like a compass needle trembling as it finds true north, your discomfort indicates the direction of your growth. This understanding transforms fear from an enemy to be avoided into a trusted guide marking the path of your expansion. Sacred practice. Sit quietly and bring to mind a situation that creates anxiety or fear. Place your hand on your heart and breathe deeply. With each breath, welcome the sensations as signs of awakening power. Whisper softly, "This energy is my transformation unfolding." Continue breathing until you feel the subtle shift from resistance to acceptance, from fear to emerging strength. Let this practice remind you that every tremor of fear carries the pulse of new power waiting to be embraced. Chapter 22. The Light of Purpose. In the heart of a bustling marketplace, Bonnie wandered between stalls, her dreams as scattered as autumn leaves. Each venture she attempted felt hollow, like echoes in an empty chamber. Though she possessed talent and determination, something essential remained missing. Until one rain-swept morning changed everything. The truth whispers first in moments of stillness. Your desires are not random impulses, but seeds planted by the infinite to grow gardens that nourish many. When you align personal ambition with universal good, you tap into currents far greater than individual achievement. Consider how water flows. A single drop remains small, but joined with others. It carves canyons and sustains life. Similarly, intention gains unstoppable momentum when it serves beyond the self. This is not about diminishing your dreams, but expanding their reach until they touch countless lives. Lawrence discovered this principle while building his business. For years, he chased profit alone, finding only fleeting satisfaction. Everything shifted when he began asking how his work could solve problems for others. By creating employment opportunities in struggling communities, his company didn't just grow, it blossomed. The universe responded to this expanded vision with synchronicities and support that seemed almost magical. This is because service aligns you with the natural flow of life itself. All of nature operates through giving. Trees release oxygen, bees pollinate flowers, rain nourishes soil. When your goals mirror this divine design of contribution, you move in harmony with creation's purpose. Your unique gifts were bestowed for a reason. They are tools meant to carve channels through which abundance can flow to others. As you infuse your ambitions with meaning beyond personal gain, notice how resistance dissolves. Doors open unexpectedly. Resources appear precisely when needed. This is not coincidence, but cosmic law in action. The universe accelerates intentions that benefit the whole. A dream wrapped in service carries the weight of many dreams. It draws support from seen and unseen realms because it serves the greater good. Your success becomes a catalyst for countless others' transformation. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment at sunrise or sunset. Close your eyes and hold your current goal in your heart. Now expand that vision to include how its achievement will uplift others. Feel the energy shift as your intention grows wings of purpose. Let this expanded awareness guide your actions until service becomes as natural as breathing. Chapter 23. The Energy of Consistency. Through the mists of time, a truth emerges, as enduring as mountains yet often overlooked in moments of impatience. Across countless generations, those who have mastered manifestation share one common trait: the unwavering dedication to maintain their energetic signal through both sunshine and storm. Celia's story mirrors a pattern many souls encounter on their path to mastery. Her enthusiasm would spark like wildfire at the birth of each new vision: a business venture, a creative project, a personal transformation. Yet, when the immediate horizon showed no signs of her desired outcome, that same fire would dim to embers, then fade to ash. She did not yet understand that the universe responds not to occasional bursts of passion, but to the steady pulse of sustained belief. The law of attraction operates with perfect precision through consistent vibration. Think of a radio tower broadcasting its signal. It does not transmit in spurts and starts, hoping someone might tune in. It maintains its frequency with unwavering dedication, knowing that those meant to receive its message will find their way to its wavelength. Harold's journey illuminates this principle with crystal clarity. For 3 years, he held the vision of establishing a healing center that would serve his community. Unlike those who abandon ship when storms appear, he maintained his energetic broadcast through financial setbacks, skepticism from others, and moments of personal doubt. Each morning, he renewed his commitment. Each evening, he gave thanks as though his center already existed. The universe responds to such dedication with orchestrated precision. What appeared as delays were actually careful alignments being arranged behind the scenes. Properties that initially proved unsuitable led to better locations. Early supporters who stepped away made room for partners who shared his complete vision. Through it all, Harold maintained his signal, understanding that consistency itself was a form of power. Your ability to manifest magnifies when you grasp this fundamental truth. The universe measures your readiness not by the intensity of your initial desire, but by the steadiness of your sustained attention. Like a master gardener who tends their seeds through all seasons, knowing that growth follows natural rhythms, you too must cultivate patience while maintaining certainty. When you commit to holding your vision with steady hands and an unwavering heart, you broadcast reliability to the cosmic forces. This reliability becomes a magnetic force, drawing to you the very circumstances, people, and opportunities needed for manifestation. The universe recognizes in your consistency a worthiness to receive, for you have demonstrated that you can be trusted with the fulfillment of your desires. Your dreams require no frantic pushing, no desperate pleading. They ask only for your steady attention, your consistent belief, your patient trust in divine timing. Let your signal ring clear and true through the days, weeks, and months, knowing that every moment of sustained focus adds power to your manifestation. ancient practice. Begin each morning by sitting in sacred stillness. Place your hand upon your heart and feel the steady rhythm within. Let this pulse remind you that consistency itself is a form of magic. As you move through your day, maintain the feeling of your desire as though it already exists, letting each breath renew your commitment. Trust that your unwavering signal is being received, and that the universe's response, though it moves at its own pace, is absolutely certain. Chapter 24. The Reflection of Joyful Work. In ancient times, a merchant traveled from village to village, his shoulders heavy with wares and worries. Each step felt like a burden, until a wise woman shared a secret that would transform his journey forever. "The weight you carry," she said, "is determined not by what's in your basket, but by the spirit in which you carry it." You see, the universe responds not to what you do, but to the energy you bring to your actions. When work becomes weighted with dread, the law of attraction can only multiply that heaviness. Tessa discovered this truth through her own transformation. Each morning, she would drag herself to her office, viewing every task as an obligation to endure. Her resistance created a barrier that kept prosperity at bay, like a wall between her and abundance. But transformation arrived when she began to see her work differently. Instead of a prison of duties, she reframed her role as a canvas for creativity. Each project became an opportunity to express her unique gifts. The simple act of shifting her perspective from having to getting to altered the frequency she broadcast to the universe. As Tessa embraced this new approach, something remarkable occurred. Opportunities that had seemed locked away began flowing toward her. Clients who resonated with her renewed energy sought her out. Projects that once felt draining now energized her spirit. The very nature of her work remained unchanged, but her relationship to it had transformed completely. Albert's story mirrors this profound shift. For years, he approached his responsibilities as burdens to bear, his spirit dimming with each passing day. Then he made a conscious choice to infuse every action with delight. He turned routine tasks into games, approached challenges as adventures, and celebrated small victories. This shift in energy was like opening windows in a dark room. Suddenly, light flooded in from all directions. The universe responds to joy as flowers turn toward sunlight. When you approach your work with lightness of spirit, you align with the natural flow of abundance. Joy becomes a magnet, drawing forth experiences that match its vibration. Your enthusiasm signals to the universal forces that you are ready to receive more of what brings you delight. Ancient ritual of practice. Find a quiet moment as the sun rises. Close your eyes and imagine infusing your next task with pure, childlike enthusiasm. Feel how this shift in energy transforms the very nature of what you do. Then carry this light-hearted spirit into your day, knowing that as you radiate joy, the universe conspires to bring you more reasons to celebrate. Let each action become a dance with possibility, each moment an opportunity to create something beautiful. Chapter 25. The Portal of Gratitude. In a distant mountain village, there lived a weaver whose baskets remained empty despite her skill. Each morning she would look at her meager earnings and sigh, blind to the golden threads that adorned her work. The villagers praised her artistry, yet she could only see what was missing, never what was present. The universe operates through an ancient principle. What you acknowledge multiplies, what you overlook diminishes. Like a garden that flourishes under loving attention, your reality expands in the direction of your appreciation. Nell discovered this wisdom through her own journey of transformation. Each day she would focus on what hadn't yet manifested, unknowingly creating a vacuum where abundance could not thrive. Her thoughts constantly dwelled on the clients she hadn't attracted, the income not yet earned, the recognition still awaited. This persistent focus on lack became a lens through which she viewed her entire existence, tinting every experience with the shadow of insufficiency. Her energy field, starved of appreciation's nourishment, could not sustain the very prosperity she sought. Yet the universe's wisdom reveals itself in unexpected ways. Stanley's story illuminates this truth with particular clarity. Once caught in a similar pattern of perpetual dissatisfaction, he began a simple practice that altered the course of his life. Each evening, he would acknowledge one small blessing: the warmth of sunlight through his window, the smile of a stranger, the completion of a task. At first, this felt mechanical, even forced, but as days passed, something remarkable began to unfold. The more he recognized these modest gifts, the more frequently they appeared. His gratitude became a magnet, drawing forth experiences that matched its frequency. A thank you for a helpful colleague led to unexpected opportunities. Appreciation for his current clients attracted more abundant ones. The universe responds to the energy of recognition like a flower opening to warmth. When you pause to honor what is already present in your life, you create an energetic invitation for more to arrive. Gratitude is not merely a response to abundance. It is the very soil from which abundance grows. Think of appreciation as a sacred currency. Each moment of genuine thanks becomes a seed planted in fertile soil. These seeds multiply naturally, following the universal law that energy flows where attention goes. Your recognition of today's small miracles becomes tomorrow's harvest of greater ones. Ancient ritual of practice. As night draws its curtain across the sky, find a quiet space to sit. Close your eyes and allow the day's experiences to pass through your mind like gentle clouds. Name silently every gift that crossed your path, from the smallest convenience to the grandest blessing. Feel how each acknowledgement creates a warm glow in your heart, until your entire being hums with the frequency of gratitude. Let this vibration of appreciation become your natural state, knowing that what you thank for today multiplies into tomorrow's blessings. Chapter 26. The Return to Self. In the heart of an ancient garden, a young woman spent years traveling from sage to sage, seeking wisdom in scrolls and temples. Each teacher offered fragments of truth, yet her heart remained unsatisfied, thirsting for something deeper. This searching soul wandered until exhaustion brought her to rest beneath a flowering tree, where silence finally spoke. You too may have sought answers in the world outside, collecting knowledge like precious stones, hoping each new teaching would complete the puzzle of your understanding. Yet the greatest revelation awaits in the quiet sanctuary of your own being. The universe has placed within you a compass more precise than any external guidance, the soft whisper of your own divine knowing. When you still the endless chatter of doubts and expectations, when you release the need to seek validation from others, something remarkable emerges. The voice of truth, which has always lived within you, rises like dawn breaking through clouds. This inner wisdom speaks not in shouts, but in gentle nudges, not in demands, but in loving suggestions. Lillian discovered this after exhausting herself in pursuit of spiritual authorities. Each new teaching added complexity until she felt lost in a maze of contradicting guidance. Her breakthrough came not through another workshop or book, but in a moment of surrender. When she finally stopped searching outside herself, she found the teacher she had always carried within. Edwin's story mirrors this sacred discovery. For years he collected certificates and attended seminars, believing enlightenment lay in accumulating more knowledge. His transformation began during a simple meditation, when he finally listened to the quiet voice he had long ignored. In that stillness, he recognized that his intuition had always known the path, waiting patiently for him to turn inward. The universe speaks through your innermost knowing. Every cell of your being is infused with divine intelligence. Every heartbeat pulses with universal wisdom. Your role is not to acquire more information, but to clear away the debris that blocks your connection to this innate guidance. Think of your inner voice as a crystal spring. The water of wisdom flows constantly, but when you crowd it with external opinions and borrowed beliefs, the stream becomes clouded. Your task is simply to still the waters, allowing clarity to return naturally. Ancient ritual of practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, letting each breath carry you deeper into stillness. Place one hand over your heart, creating a gentle connection to your center of knowing. Ask within for guidance about any situation in your life, then listen with patient trust. Notice the subtle feelings, the quiet knowing that rises from your depths. This is your divine compass speaking, the voice of the universe expressing through your own heart's wisdom. Practice this sacred listening daily, trusting that your inner guidance always leads toward your highest good. Chapter 27. The Dance of Synchronicity. In the bustling marketplace of a distant village, a merchant spent her days noting patterns in the tapestry of daily life. Each morning, as she arranged her wares, butterflies would land in the same sequence, a dance she first dismissed as chance. Yet as she began paying attention, she noticed how these delicate visitors appeared precisely when her heart whispered certain dreams. The universe speaks in patterns, weaving a language of synchronicity through the fabric of your experience. What appears as coincidence to the sleeping mind reveals itself as sacred correspondence to the awakened heart. These subtle signs are not random occurrences, but tender acknowledgments from the infinite, confirming your alignment with universal flow. Sarah lived in doubt of this mystical dialogue until numbers began appearing in meaningful sequences. 1111 on clocks when she contemplated change, 333 when she needed reassurance, 555 as she prepared for transformation. At first, she attributed these to mere chance, yet as she opened her awareness, she recognized these numerical whispers as cosmic validation of her path. These signs arrive not to direct, but to reflect, showing you that reality itself moves in harmony with your deepening awareness. The universe delights in this subtle dance of recognition, offering symbols and synchronicities as gentle confirmations that you are seen, heard, and supported in your journey. Warren discovered this truth during a period of uncertainty about his creative pursuits. Just as doubt would creep in, he would encounter unexpected references to his artistic dreams. A stranger mentioning the exact project he envisioned. A book falling open to precisely the guidance he needed. These moments were not coincidences, but coordinates on his map of manifestation. When you attune yourself to this divine dialogue, life becomes an unfolding symphony of meaningful moments. A feather appears on your path just as you question your direction. A song that carries special significance plays exactly when you need its message. These synchronicities serve as bridges between your inner knowing and outer experience. The key lies not in forcing interpretation, but in allowing wonder to guide your awareness. The universe communicates through the language of resonance, events, symbols, and encounters that feel significant because they align with your soul's frequency. Your role is simply to notice, to appreciate, and to trust in the perfect orchestration of these cosmic winks. Ancient ritual of practice. Begin each day by acknowledging one sign that appears in your experience. Whether it's a meaningful number sequence, a recurring symbol, or an unlikely coincidence that speaks to your heart, pause to receive it with gratitude. Feel the joy of recognition, knowing that these moments of synchronicity are the universe's way of dancing with your consciousness. Let each sign strengthen your trust in the perfect unfolding of your path, confirming that you are always in dialogue with the infinite intelligence that guides all life. Chapter 28. The Grace of Change. Long ago, in a village nestled among ancient hills, a weaver named Velma created the same patterns day after day, refusing to learn new designs that travelers brought from distant lands. Her fingers moved in familiar rhythms, producing works that grew less remarkable with each passing season. Though merchants praised fresh styles from faraway places, she turned away, saying, "What I know has served me well enough." The tapestry of life moves in perpetual motion. Resistance to change is resistance to the very nature of existence itself. The universe operates through continuous expansion, always seeking new expressions of itself through you. When you grasp tightly to what is known, you unknowingly restrict the flow of greater possibilities awaiting their moment to emerge. Just as water shapes itself to any vessel while retaining its essential nature, your spirit thrives when it remains fluid, ready to pour into new forms of expression. Change is not the enemy of stability, but the gateway to greater harmony with universal forces. Each transition arrives as a gift, carrying hidden treasures of growth, even when disguised as loss or challenge. Consider the tale of Ernest, a merchant who lost his entire shipment in a storm at sea. Instead of cursing his fate, he saw this apparent catastrophe as an invitation to explore new trade routes. His acceptance of change led him to discover precious goods he'd never known existed, ultimately bringing him greater prosperity than before. The very storm that seemed to destroy his path had actually cleared the way for something far more magnificent. The universe never removes without planning to replace. What appears as an ending is simply a clearing of space for new beginnings to take root. Your resistance to change creates the very suffering you seek to avoid, while your acceptance opens channels for grace to flow freely. When you feel yourself contracting against change, remember that the universe expands endlessly. Your willingness to expand with it aligns you with the natural order of creation. Every transition serves as a sacred doorway, leading to versions of reality that your current perspective cannot yet imagine. The wisdom lies in recognizing that change itself is your steadfast companion, the most reliable constant in the cosmic dance. By embracing each shift with trust, you become as flexible as the wind, as adaptable as water, moving in perfect rhythm with life's eternal unfolding. Practice. Find a quiet moment each day to sit with current changes in your life. Breathe deeply and say, "I welcome this transformation as divine redirection." Feel gratitude for the wisdom of universal timing, knowing that each transition carries you closer to your highest good. Chapter 29. The Summit of Self-Trust. In a bustling marketplace, a young merchant named Minnie stood paralyzed between two paths. Each choice before her seemed to echo with equal possibility and equal doom. Should she venture north with her wares to the mountain villages, or south to the coastal towns? As hours passed, potential buyers drifted away while she remained frozen in hesitation. Her inner voice whispered guidance, yet she questioned every intuitive nudge, creating a storm of doubt that scattered her energy to the winds. This dance of doubt is familiar to many souls walking the path of manifestation. When you question every inner prompting, you fragment the pure stream of universal wisdom flowing through you. Your connection to source energy is not a distant channel requiring perfect reception. It is the very essence of your being, speaking through your natural inclinations and inspired thoughts. The universe does not speak in shouts, but in subtle impressions that arise from within. These gentle nudges are your divine inheritance, the sacred language through which infinite intelligence guides your journey. When you doubt these promptings, you create interference in the natural flow of co-creation. Howard, a writer, discovered this truth during a period of creative paralysis. Every sentence he wrote was immediately followed by crushing self-doubt. Should he pursue this story or that one? Was his voice authentic enough? The more he questioned, the more his words turned to dust. Then one morning, sitting in silence, he realized a profound truth. His creative impulses were not random thoughts, but the universe expressing itself through his unique perspective. From that day forward, Howard approached his craft differently. Instead of interrogating every creative instinct, he welcomed them as sacred messengers. His writing began to flow with newfound grace, touching readers in ways his doubting mind could never have engineered. What changed was not his talent, but his trust in the divine wisdom, speaking through his natural inclinations. This truth extends beyond creative endeavors. It touches every aspect of life. When you trust your inner guidance, you align with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates galaxies. Your instincts are not separate from source energy. They are its personalized expression through your unique being. The universe seeks to express itself through you in perfect harmony with your highest good. But this expression requires your willing participation, your trust in the wisdom that rises naturally from within. When you honor your intuitive promptings, you become a clear channel for divine co-creation. Practice. Find a quiet moment each morning to sit in peaceful connection with your inner wisdom. Place one hand over your heart and speak these words. I trust the divine wisdom flowing through me. My instincts are sacred guidance leading me true. Feel the warmth of confidence spreading through your body as you affirm this truth. Then, throughout your day, act upon your intuitive promptings with quiet certainty, knowing that each decision made in alignment with your inner wisdom strengthens your connection to universal intelligence. Chapter 30. The Unstoppable Soul. Within the halls of an ancient temple, a seeker named Gloria spent countless hours perfecting her spiritual practices. Each meditation, each ritual, had to be flawless. She believed that only through perfect execution could she unlock the universe's abundance. Day after day, she berated herself for every perceived misstep, creating an energy of strain rather than flow. The universe speaks in the language of growth, not perfection. When you chase flawlessness, you resist the natural rhythm of expansion that governs all creation. Your journey of manifestation flourishes not through rigid precision, but through embracing the sacred dance of becoming. Gloria's transformation began the moment she witnessed a master craftsman teaching his apprentice. The young student's hands trembled as he shaped clay, creating imperfect vessels. Yet the master smiled, saying, "Each piece carries the beauty of your growth." In that instant, Gloria understood. Her spiritual path was not about reaching an impossible ideal, but about celebrating each step of her evolution. Clifford, a painter, embodied this wisdom naturally. While others rushed to complete masterpieces, he found joy in every brush stroke. His studio became filled not just with finished works, but with sketches, studies, and experiments. Each piece told the story of his development, and remarkably, collectors began seeking out even his practice pieces, drawn to the authentic energy of his creative journey. The universe responds not to perfection, but to alignment with your true nature. When you release the need to arrive at some imagined pinnacle of achievement, you free yourself to experience the miracle of continuous unfoldment. Each moment becomes an opportunity for joyful discovery rather than harsh judgment. Your manifestation power amplifies when you recognize that you are already whole, already worthy, already in perfect harmony with universal flow. The journey itself is the destination. Every experience, whether viewed as success or setback, contributes to your expanding consciousness. Like a flower that doesn't criticize its own blossoming, your path to creation becomes effortless when you embrace your natural rhythm of growth. The universe already celebrates your becoming. It's time for you to join in that celebration. Sacred practice. Sit quietly in a comfortable space, close your eyes, and visualize your journey as a beautiful spiral of light, each turn representing a phase of your growth. Feel deep gratitude for every step that has brought you here. Breathe in appreciation for your courage to keep evolving. Let your heart fill with joy for the endless dance of becoming. Remember, the universe already moves in perfect synchronicity with your rhythm of expansion. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. Through these sacred teachings, you have remembered what your soul has always known, that the universe moves not through trials, but through loving resonance. Each principle explored in these chapters has guided you back to this eternal truth. You are already in perfect harmony with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all creation. When doubt arises, Return to the knowing that the universe's apparent tests are actually loving calibrations, fine-tuning your frequency to match your highest potential. Like an instrument being brought into perfect pitch, every experience serves to align you more precisely with your natural state of power and grace. Your journey through understanding belief, intention, emotional mastery, and divine timing has prepared you for this profound realization that you were never separate from the source of all manifestation. The seeming distance between desire and fulfillment was only the space needed for your consciousness to expand into greater awareness. As you stand now in this awakened understanding, feel how the cosmos leans in to support your certainty. Notice how reality rearranges itself around your unwavering faith. This is not magic, but natural law, the law of resonance that ensures like attracts like, that consciousness creates reality, that energy follows attention. You have discovered that true unstoppability comes not from forcing or struggling, but from aligning so completely with your inner truth that resistance dissolves naturally. From this centered awareness, you need only maintain the frequency of what you wish to create, and the universe responds with perfect precision. Let your gratitude for this understanding radiate outward, knowing that appreciation magnifies everything it touches. Feel how your conscious choice to trust opens new pathways of possibility. You are now aware of your role as both conductor and symphony, creating through the pure vibration of your being. Stand firmly in this truth. You are the living embodiment of creative force, expressing through the unique frequency of your awakened heart. All of existence conspires to match your signal when you remain steady in this knowing.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.